Hello, everybody. Meteorologist Hutch Johnson with a look at your weather headlines. Thanks for joining me. Drop your questions in the comments. Make sure you hit follow on Facebook. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. Let's talk about some wintry weather over the next 7 days. Significant snow and cold on the way. Details begin right now.
Now, a Hutch's weather update with Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson. Brought to you by Robert Gibb and Sons.
All right, thanks for joining me. Here's what's going on as we take a look across the northern plains and beyond. A big look at the nation showing we do have some wild weather in the west. All of the red that you see on the map here, winter storm warnings across the Rocky Mountains, the Cascades, all the way down into the Sierra Nevada of California. Flood warnings aplenty in central California from the Bay Area right up into the hills. From Eureka straight into southern parts of Oregon and the western mountains, we do have wintry weather taking place there. Big time snow from Missoula through the Great Falls area points north along the Highway 2 corridor of Montana, where we're having some pretty significant wintry weather there as we speak. And here's what things are looking like in Montana. And remember, you can get the latest on your road conditions at hutchesweather.com. One thing to point out here, northeast Montana, if you're in the oil patch or if you're driving on Highway 2, by the time you get up over here in and around the Culbertson area, very white and snow-covered roads are really the rule up here. Look at the what we call pillow drifts on the roads there in Montana along that Highway 2 corridor. Get up a little bit farther north and it's pretty ridiculous. Not far from Plentywood. Let me take a look at this. I think I was showing. Yes, here we go. So again, a lot of wind and snow blowing over the road, reducing visibility in these areas. Hey, thanks for watching on YouTube. Drop a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. If you have a specific question from anywhere in the nation, we'll get to that momentarily. But the wild weather in Montana will be heading into the northern plains as we go through the next couple of days as well. Now, as we take a look at Oregon, the roads out in that neck of the woods there on the west coast also compromised, particularly as you get down south near the border here where we have moderate to heavy snow and even a road closure where we're seeing some candy canes on the roads down there. So the radar right now is showing a little bit of snow starting to show up in portions of North Dakota. Let's go back to that right quick. And what I want to point out here, this is all fairly light right now, but as we go into the day tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday, we have some headlines. So let's share those with you as we head into the next 24 hours. The weather headlines in the northern plains look like this. We have a couple of rounds of snow coming our way. Let's see if I get this straight here. There we go. Here it is. Wednesday into Thursday. Wednesday into Thursday, it begins out to the west, makes its way through. This is what's coming out of Montana. Notice the northern sweep. So if you are in Saskatchewan, Manitoba, some heavier snow potential will be there for you. Along Interstate 94 through North Dakota and points north into northern Minnesota, heavier snowfall potential as we go into Thursday. It will come with a significant amount of wind. Hi, homeschool mom in North Dakota. Thanks so much. Percy, hello to you as well. Barbara Gores, good to have you on board from East Grand Forks. And here is a look at that snowfall potential by Thursday morning. So there'll be some impacts on Wednesday, particularly out west, but by late at the night hours and into your morning hours, Thursday morning, we could have some significant snowfall for Babe the Blue Ox north into Waskish and the Red Lakes area, War Road, Roseau County, all the way into Lakes Country here, the western reaches of Otter Tail and Becker County. Now, while not necessarily a huge storm, it's going to be noticeable for sure. Ready for snow, says Justin. Good to have you on board, and thanks for watching. Let's check out a couple of questions that we got going on the old channel over on Facebook. Adam, thank you so very much for sharing those stars with me and supporting Hutch. Lisa, good to talk to you. Tomahawk, Wisconsin. Gary, good to have you on board. Look at this system here as we go through up in the northern shore of Duluth as we go into that Thursday time frame, and northern Wisconsin will not be benign Wednesday into Thursday. So there's your midweek slap in the face. And then we have the late week one coming as well. That one here looks to bring some pretty potent potential for snow. So this is the 24-hour snowfall from two models we'll compare. Remember, the farther out we try to look as meteorologists, then what's going to happen is our reliability and the consistency of the forecast is well, a little bit less confidence, let's just say that. But when both models, the European and the American model, are showing a swath of heavier snow in the pinks here, and the European model says, yep, that just might happen, we all scratch our heads and start paying closer attention. So this would be the 24-hour snow total by Saturday at noon. Notice the American model, robust snow in the elevated terrain of Montana, eastern Montana, all of the southern one half of North Dakota, with a good chance of some solid snowfall potential. Again, and this is Friday night into Saturday at noon, and this storm will continue to trek into the Great Lakes as we go into Saturday evening and Sunday with heavier snow for you in Wisconsin. Keep that in mind. Carrie, good to check. Good that you're checking in from Gonvik. So that's our wild weather. Let's take a look at one model's run on this, and we'll show you the details and the timing of our weather systems. And then I'd be happy to answer some questions as well. So for tonight, we're not looking at a lot of snow, but it does begin tomorrow. It won't be a lot for everybody, so that's not what we're calling for. This is not one of those widespread events that's going to impact everybody. Let's get started with the look at the, well, let's go with the European model, shall we? Okay, let's take a look at this. Now, as we go through the European model's forecast from the national view, I do want to point out snow ending in the northeastern United States. We do have a storm system making landfall in the Pacific Northwest now, causing all of the warnings that we have for Montana, Idaho, all the way out to the mountains of California. Notice that should be ending as we get into Wednesday morning in parts of California, but the snow begins. Now, here's one point to keep in mind. In the Central Plains, rain and thunderstorms are going to be aplenty with this warm air that's humid from the Gulf of Mexico. We could have a mix of precipitation across parts of South Dakota, Iowa, Nebraska, southern Minnesota. So there could be some Wednesday afternoon and evening, tomorrow afternoon and evening, mixed of snot. That's snow, ice, freezing, drizzle, that kind of stuff that's just not fun to drive on, right? So, and quite a bit of wind with this low pressure center making its way through. So this is Wednesday dinner time. This will be about that 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock hour, depending on your time zone here, as we're running through the mountain time zone. That'd be 5 o'clock. Check it out, though. This system is not dragging its feet. Folks, it's zipping like a fast thing. Okay, it's rocketing through. So that means the snowfall potential, not that great, but we do see some heavier bands setting up with that low making its way through. Here comes an Arctic high pressure with some cold weather. Nathan, good to see you on board. Thanks for watching. So that's the timing of this system. Notice Minnesota seeing this into your, well, midnight hour on Wednesday night. By Thursday, as we crunch into the daytime hours there, the European model has this system pretty much gone, but the wind is going to really blow, and it's going to blow like air that's really in a hurry here. 30 to 45 miles per hour. Look at the East Coast. This system here is going to bring snow to Wisconsin. Here we go, getting some tapping into some moist air into the mid-Atlantic state and that Gulf Stream, and boom, heavy snow potential. As you look in close on that, we could see some very heavy snow working its way through the mid-Atlantic states. And that is, again, the European model. This is Hutch's favorite model when it comes to days 4 and beyond. Look at this, another storm system working off the Pacific. And this one hits California with some precipitation, rain, and snow all the way into the mountains of Oregon, making its way into Montana. Now, when it crosses the Rockies, there's not a lot of moisture left of this system to work with, but as it moves over the Rocky Mountains, it starts tapping into more of this Gulf moisture, and here we go again. So Friday night, snow begins here in the Fargo area. Snow will have begun already in western parts of North Dakota, and the European model tracks that heavier band of snow right along the North Dakota-South Dakota border, out of Montana into central Minnesota. That does include the Twin Cities. Iowa could get some icing out there. Albert, hi from Winnipeg. Great to have you on. We're going to be talking centimeters of snow by Thursday morning for you folks in the Winnipeg area. So what does 3 inches of snow equate to? That's 2.54 of them centimeters per inch of snow. So that'd be 5 to 7 centimeters snow for some of you folks in our neighboring province to the north out there from North Dakota. Look at this. Another round of weekend snow will work its way into the mid-Atlantic states. Are you kidding me? Ice aplenty, heavy bands of snow. It's a very active pattern. So much of the nation is going to feel the impacts of these couple of storms making their way through. Checking in on questions here. Thanks again for watching on all my channels. And let's go ahead and if you do have a question, drop a note here. If you have a suggestion for Hutch, let me see that too. Now, I was showing you earlier forecast snowfall amounts, but that was for 24-hour periods ending at a specific time. Let's take a look at the total snowfall potential with the storm systems as they make their way through on the European model. Here's the mountains of the West, the Western Rockies. Big time snow by tomorrow as we get into the northern parts of Idaho, outside the basin, of course, in Boise, heading into the Western Rockies of Montana. Here it goes up into Saskatchewan, Manitoba. Here's your several centimeters of snow up there. You bet, Karen. Thank you for watching. Notice this system skirts all the way along the northern tiers as it works its way through by the time we get to Saturday. Then we brace for the Friday, Saturday system that comes through. See this? Look at that. Heavier snow there. So by the time we get to early next week, look at the northern one half of the United States and out west in the Rockies, a pretty active pattern of weather indeed. Now, in the Central Plains, both of these storm systems, the midweek one and the one heading out into the weekend ahead, both will bring a chance for some potential for some strong thunderstorm activity. So when we take a look at the possibility for that, I'll just go ahead and put up the future radar for this and just point out, as we go into Wednesday night and Thursday, we could see some stronger storms out here in the Gulf Coast states where there's more energy and moisture in the atmosphere. So we're talking about Mississippi, Alabama. The timing is good for an evening round of daytime heating, thunderstorms, and some strong ones at that, with some turning in the atmosphere along what looks like a warm front setting up in the area. On the north side of this, when we start biting into that cold air, that's a mix of ice. That does not look fun for Thursday morning across most of Pennsylvania. Keep that in mind out there. So that's one round of strong thunderstorms with heavy rain. Here comes the next wave. Watch what happens here. Boom, more of it. And the timing on this one is more overnight, so the risk of severe, not as great, but as we know, the southeastern United States can get those nocturnal thunderstorms. Christy says, yuck, looking like a mess. Dennis, thanks for your sharing of stars. Let's go over Hutch's final conclusions here for you, and we'll get you on your way. And I will be doing updates for my viewers out in Montana, Hutch's home state where he was born out there. And I got to tell you what, there's some flakes flying, but let's go ahead and talk a little bit briefly about the highlights of the forecast, what we need to know. Number one, Wednesday and the Thursday here in the Northern Plains, this is focused on Montana, North and South Dakota, and Minnesota. We're going to have snow moving out of Montana beginning on Wednesday in the afternoon hours in the Dakotas. By Wednesday night, we'll see some snowfall in eastern North Dakota and Minnesota. Those impacts will be most felt at the nighttime hours Wednesday night and Thursday morning across our area. Particularly in northern Minnesota, there'll be wind and heavier snowfall potential. As I showed you, some spots over 4 inches of snow will be possible there. Behind it, dangerous cold that's going to cause your teeth to chatter. Now, Friday, Saturday, that system is going to go all the way from Montana right into Minnesota along the South Dakota border. So whether you're watching Hutch from South Dakota, Montana, North Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and also for my viewers up there in the prairies of Manitoba and Saskatchewan, more snow is on its way as we go through the weekend. It begins on Friday, mainly late out west. We'll start to see it a little bit earlier, though, in Montana, western North Dakota. But as we get to Friday night, there will be impacts to traffic and travel across the southern portion of North Dakota, northern South Dakota, and almost all of Minnesota. That means Minnesota, you get to partake in 2 rounds of snow. So by the end of the weekend ahead, you could have some significant, shovel trouble, snowblower mayhem out there across the northern plains. Here's your snapshot of the forecast as you're rising and shining the coldest pool of air up in the north. Now, we're going to have winds coming at us from the east and southeast, northeast up here. That's going to keep you on the cool side of things. There'll be some snow showers from that system that we just showed you out there by Plentywood and Freud, Brockton, Wolf Point, out there towards the Glasgow area. That snow will gradually be spreading its way to the east, and by the evening, it will make its way into the Red River Valley. So keep that in mind. So for your day, tomorrow, we'll have more northerly flow or component to the winds in our northern counties along the Canadian border here. And we'll have, because of that, drier airflow here, but not necessarily drier with regards to the snow, because all of that moisture is coming up from the south. Notice here, we've got spits of mixed precipitation precipitating, and that means some slippery roads, southern Minnesota, Iowa, southern South Dakota. For us here in North Dakota, I believe we're going to see mostly snow as we go through, but maybe if you're in that Morris Benson area, Brandon, all the way down to Hutchinson, those areas could see some more risk of some slippery nonsense as we go through your Wednesday afternoon and evening. The winds will be picking up. Temperatures rise into the teens and 20s along the South Dakota border. We stay in the skinny single digits and chilly on your hump day out to the west. Fargo's sunset 5:37 p.m. as we're enjoying just a little bit more daylight every day. Good evening, Simon. Noel, thank you so much. I appreciate you as well. Thanks for watching on the page over here on YouTube as well. Now, let's take a look at this. I've got everyday red. Why? Not every day are we getting deep snow. Not every day is it going to be severe weather impacts. But Wednesday, we talked about Storm 1. Wednesday, late into Thursday. Most of Wednesday will look pretty good here in Fargo, but out west we'll have some travel impacts. Make sure you check hutchesweather.com for the latest. Estimated snowfall for the Gary, Minnesota area. We'll get back to those to answer your question in just a second. I appreciate your patience, Angela, and all of your photos that you'll upload at hutchesweather.com. Thursday's impacts will be all day long in northern Minnesota and much of the day in the Red River Valley. We're going to have some pretty gusty winds throughout the day from the north and northwest, causing temperatures to fall like a big rock on your little toe. Not fun. 9 below zero on your Friday morning. So Uncle Frosticles over here pays a visit to us on Friday. But it's brief because the next system skirting along the border brings up a little bit of southerly flow. Clouds, wind, and snow showers aplenty. Exactly the track of that low will dictate who sees that heavier band of snow we were talking about on Friday. It begins after an unhot start to the day, late snow developing in the afternoon and evening, skirting along the South Dakota border, southern North Dakota, and 4+ inches of snow. This looks like a bigger snowfall maker in North and South Dakota and in Minnesota as we go through the early part of the weekend to me. That's definitely going to be a highlight for you if you have travel plans with the kids to the good old hockey game. 15 below. Now, here is it. You're not seeing temperatures this low elsewhere. Why? Well, because Hutch has a feeling in my elbow and a cracking in my knee. And when I hear that, I know that we're going to see those temperatures fall pretty low. Why? If we get snow, fresh snow of 3, 4, or 5 inches on the ground, I know as it clears out on the back of that, we're going to have 10 to 25 below temperatures in the morning here in the northern plains with our long nights and quieter wind conditions on a Sunday. As I'm looking at my notes, the wind does not look strong at all. Quiet winds, long night, fresh snow equals cold. All right. Look at the cold sticking around. We're talking 15 to 25 below right into Tuesday and another shot at light snow with a pretty active pattern around the area. That's a look at your forecast, answering questions. Simon says, finally some snow. Bonnie says, thank you. Angela, let's answer your question here. Let me see if I can find the right map. I'm just going to click around. Oh, don't want that map. Here, let's take a look at this. This is the Wednesday night, Thursday morning snow. Gary, looking at you right in this area right here, right? So you're going to be on this ramp where the potential for snow increases. I'd say in most of this area, we have a pretty good chance of 1 to 2 inches of snow in the Red River Valley. But you get out by Gary, the Highway 9 corridor, and the Pines, you're looking at some significant snow, particularly as we head east off towards Bijou and off towards Bemidji. That's what I'm thinking, and you're very welcome. Thank you for asking. This is round 1 for you. Round 2, dun, dun, dun. Take a look at this. So you're in Gary, and if you're right over here in this area, you got another chance for another 3 or 4 inches of snow. So we're going to double up. You're going to have 2 chances of some significant snow. Start the snow blower, get the snow machine out, and get ready. Make sure you have a helmet and a full tank of gas, because there could be some fun to be had for all of you who have been patiently waiting for some real snow. Here is one look at the European model snow, mainly along and south of Highway 2 with the second system Friday and into Saturday. These particular snowfall amounts are plotted for the 24-hour period ending between Friday at noon and Saturday at noon. There will be a little bit more snowfall in Montana because I had to pick a cutoff time at some point. I just wanted to show that this is going to be more potenter in Minnesota, where some areas north of the warmer air that's going to be chugging in from the south have a shot still at seeing over 6 inches of snow. Too early to get too specific with that, though. Jeremy, thanks for watching Travel Thursday. Weather for Thursday is going to be windy in the Fergus Falls area. There'll be some areas of blowing snow, but most of the snowfall will be to the north. As we back up and take one more look at that, here it is. Let's see. So if you're in that Fergus area, we could have some pockets of 2 or 3 inches of snow that will have fallen mainly by daybreak. North winds all day will keep the roads polished and icy. That's what I expect for you, and that's what we got. Barbara, thanks for watching. Leeds, Devil's Lake, Thursday morning. Here you go. Now, notice there's kind of a hole in the snowfall potential for your area. Maddock, Leeds, all the way up into Rock Lake, Can-Do. The better chance for some more potential for some significant snow as we cross into the international border. So if you're up here and you're in Valhalla, you could see a little bit more, but I'm not calling for a lot of snow up there, nor am I calling for a lot of snow for most of us here in North Dakota. It will be windy, it will turn colder, and there will be areas of blowing snow as we just showed you on those DOT cams. You're welcome, Jeremy. Thanks for watching. For all of you, I do want to take one moment and highlight a couple favors that you can do for Hutch. Favor number one, when you're getting ready to make plans for travel, whether it's this week or this weekend, hutchesweather.com is my new tool to help you keep ahead of the storms. Now, there's a couple of real new tools I want to share with you. Tool number one, road conditions right here. I don't care if you're in Manitoba, Saskatchewan, North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana, you name it. We've got road condition reports for you on hutchesweather.com. Links on this. It is a great resource, and you can use it from your mobile device right here while you're traveling, not while you're driving, and you can check the latest road conditions, and you can look at the photos from the DOT reports of what you're going to be driving into as we take a look around. Now, on hutchesweather.com, you also have that ability, as you saw me, to move things around on this radar. And anywhere Hutch has radar data, I'm going to share it with you. Like, look at the rain on this side of the storm system in California, quickly becoming snow. And that's some heavy, heavy rain there taking place. Still dry in SoCal down there, where they have had terrible fires that we've all heard way too much about. And our hearts go out to those folks. But again, hutchesweather.com. Snowfall amounts is another tool we have on here. If you click on the snowfall amounts, this is what you're going to get. A map you can zoom in or out of. We don't have a lot going on here, but look at Wyoming. Look at southern Montana. The snowfall amounts in the last 24 hours for the south entrance of Yellowstone, 40 inches of snow. That's a lot of snow. So Pedro says that's too much snow for him. In the mountains of California, you can see reports. Now, here's a call for you. If you have snowfall to report this weekend and beyond, make sure that you call it in to your local authorities, pass it along to Hutch. I pass that to the Weather Service, because that's how these get populated, and you will see your reports showing up right here on Hutch's Weather. In Idaho, 33 inches in Galena. That's a lots of snow there to shovel. Now, as we look off to the east, northern Michigan, upstate New York, all the way into Burlington, Vermont, picking up healthy amounts of snow there, between 5 and 8 inches of snow in parts of northern New York. Out here, we've got 8 inches in South Colton, New York. Kind of fun to look at. The other thing I'd love to have you do when you're visiting hutchesweather.com here is the viewer picks. If you have snow or inclement weather, you can help all of us by sharing what you see, and that can be videos or images of your weather uploaded to hutchesweather.com. I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson. Again, check the latest road conditions and updates. My videos are all there for you on hutchesweather.com. Please click the follow button here on Facebook. Hey, please click the subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. Have yourself a wonderful day, and get ready for snow to make its way in to the northern plains. It's been a pretty quiet winter for many of us, and things are getting less quieter by the day.